I think the best sort of resources that you have is just, while you're at CC, you can acquire these as well, is learning things like time management, learning things like how to deal with mental health related issues, because I think that is the biggest thing. I think burnout happens really easily when you're taking 3, 4, maybe even 5 classes in a semester. It's really hard because you're doing a lot in a much longer period. You have to kind of sustain it for a longer period. I think when I had really hard classes at CC, I always knew that it was only going to be 3.5 weeks. Like, after 3.5 weeks, I'm done. I can kind of dump it out and then move on, right? And it's not the same in a semester or quarter plan, because you have to actually deal with having to sustain those difficult classes and the energy in those classes for 10 weeks, if not longer. And I think the resources that I got at CC, we do a lot. You meet every day. You're doing homework every day. You already have the skills necessary, but you just kind of have to tweak them a little bit. So I think learning to manage your time around these different priorities and then learning to switch between things is really important. I think while I did do a little bit of that while I was at CC, especially between work and extracurriculars and being in class, I academically wasn't switching between things all the time. I wasn't doing something that was English and then math and then science. Like, it wasn't like I was constantly going back and forth. And so I think learning to manage your time around those things and then learning to transition between those things and give yourself the time to do that, I think is really important. But like I said, sustainably managing your mental health and the stress, I think, is the best thing that you can do for yourself, is learn how to figure out what resources work best for you. Maybe it's therapy, maybe it's exercise, maybe it's hanging out with friends, maybe you get replenished when you're in a group setting, and like doing those things to keep yourself going for longer, I think, is really important.